Hello viewers, in today's video we will learn about the different kinds of the wet lab equipment, or you can say these are materials or accessories that are used in the wet lab, or you can call it accessories, okay, or small devices or gadgets that are used in the laboratory. Okay, so this very PPT is all about, it's called laboratory glassware and accessories. Okay, so and usually for the wet labs it can also be used in operation lab, wastewater labs, okay, and a lot of other labs like organic chemistry lab or synthesis lab. Okay, now first of all let's understand what is the basic about this so-called training or so-called video. So this basically the PPT is designed or made for lab induction, training videos and teaching. So here every item includes a purpose, an aim, why do we use it, do we need a calibration, and what are the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages, and how can we clean it, how can we store it. Okay, now the first here is the volumetric flask. So this is a single calibration mark, okay, the mark up to which we have to pour our liquid. Okay, and here this one is made of a special plastic. Okay, and usually this are glass colorful one, so this will not allow the light to pass, so this can be used for storage of organics. Okay, so here this is chemically inert to most organic solvents, so there is no chance of leaching, no swelling, no deformation, safe for hexane, acetone, ethanol, methanol, toluene, chloroform short term, dichloromethane short term. Okay, so usually containers which are glass based are made of borosilicate, amber for light sensitive solvent, and this is the standard in chemistry and environmental labs. Okay, when we use the quartz and plastics, so these are highly inert, excellent for high temperature or UV applications, and this is not used for some solvent like which are very expensive and which are fragile, and also not recommended for routine solvent storage. The plastic one, which are these type, okay, so this is not quartz, it's plastic. So commonly used are HDP, high density polyethylene, LDPE, polypropylene, Teflon. So these are for short-term storage, aqueous solutions, weak organic solvents like alcohols, not suitable for aromatic solvents. These are suitable for aromatic solvents, toluene, xylene, DCM, dichloromethane, chloroform. Strong solvents, acetone, not suitable, swelling, and these could have the leaching risk. And the plastic can absorb the solvents, leach, plasticizer, degrade over time. So the glass one are suitable for organic, okay, and quartz one are not suitable for some kind of solvents. Okay, so here the plastic one, especially the PTFE, they are for special cases. Okay, that I told you earlier, for special cases which solvent which will not leach over time. Now the volumetric flask. Okay, now for these kind of flasks we need to rinse with same solvent, remove the residue, wash with lab detergent, rinse with tap water, final rinse with DI water. For oily solvent you have to rinse with acetone, or also air dry or oven dry 60 to 80. Never scrub inside the volumetric glassware aggressively. Calibration needs calibration. Yes, must be calibrated. Used for exact volume preparation. Okay. Graduated cylinder, for example, I will tell you later. Used for approximate measurement. Recommended only research lab or QA or ISO labs. Conical flask. These are no need for no calibration. Used only for mixing, heating, titration. Okay. Volumetric flask do need calibration. Volumetric pipette do need calibration. Burette also. Conical no. Beaker no. Okay. Now the volumetric flask calibration, class A, B, pros very high accuracy, the positive point, cons only one fixed volume, cleaning detergent, DI water, air dry, storage upright in cabinet, avoid stacking, you don't need to stack them together. Now these one are conical flasks, these are normally used in titration, these are with caps, so these are wide base, narrow mouth, easy swirling, any shaking. These are another type with another with caps, these are some stoppers, and these are types, different types. The first one is Lenmeyer conical flask, volumetric, round bottom flask, flat bottom flask, fluorescence, filtering. Okay. Now the conical flask, mixing, titration, heating, I told you, calibration, no. Pros, positive point, easy mixing, less spillage, less spilling. Not for accurate measurement, cleaning detergent, wash bottle, brush, storage, open rack or cabinet. Now the beaker here, they are wide mouth, pouring spout, approximate scale. These are different types of volume beaker. These are amber colored, so for special kind of solvents. For light sensitive one, these are a specialized coating, and these are another different kind of coating. These are borosilicate, and these are basically some kind of bicarboxylic coating. And the keep information, no calibration, They are versatile and robust, low accuracy, cleaning warm water plus lab detergent. And then you have to stack carefully depending on their sizes. You don't store them like the big one with small ones, so you have to make them in serial wise. Now the graduate cylinder, tall body, graduation marks, moderate accuracy. These are with stands and these are not with stands. And these already have a base, supportive base. Now the key information here is it measures liquid volumes. Calibration is optional but recommended for quality assurance labs. Better accuracy than beakers. These are fragile, not for mixing. Cleaning, rinse immediately after use, and you have to store it upright, not stacking. And these are the pipettes with our bulb, so they are accurate. And these are without bulb, and these are micropipettes. These are all again bulb without bulb. These are with pipettes. These are not reusable, they are reusable, they are reusable. And these are different types. And these are also not reusable. These are with bulbs. Okay, these are micropipettes. They can be reused. This one. Now the key information: accurate liquid transfer, calibration. Yes, high precision. They are fragile, careful handling. Rinse with for the cleaning, rinse with solvent, then DI water. Then you can dry, and then you can put in the pipette stand. Now for the burette, these are different burette. These are glass burette, these are DG burette. Already I've talked about them in my previous video. These are electronic burette. So these are more easy to use as compared to the glass burette. They're all used in titration and also to pour certain kind of solvent in fixed amount of volume, 1 ml, 2 ml, 3 or 4 ml for this one also. And these are of different grades: G001, G003, G002, G004. They are depending on their diameters and also the different type of valves that are used to open and close. I'll talk about them in our later videos. Now the calibration is required here. Already told you for titration experiments, control dispensing. Dispense a certain amount of liquid from these different kind of bulbs or the openings, you can say. Requires careful setup, rinse with titrant, then vertical burette stand. The same methodology will follow while cleaning them also, if they are usable or not usable. These are filtration setup, filtration holder, flask, vacuum line, and these are also a different kind of filter holder. These are also filter holder. You have seen this in my previous videos where I was talking about the vacuum filtration or dead end filtration. And these are it doesn't need a calibration. Effective clarification, cleaning, filter clogging is possible if there is a lot of solids which are passing through the filter, okay, which may retain on the filter, which may not return on the filter. So it needs thorough cleaning. Remove filter, wash holder, and then we have to reassemble them and clean them separately. Now the funnels, these are different kind of funnels. This is Bushnell funnel. They are called, okay, these are Hartley, these are Gooch, these are Hirsch. So, and these are different funnels. These are also different funnels which can be mounted with the filter. These also, they are all used basically in gravity filtration. Some are used in the vacuum filtration. These can be used in a vacuum filter. These also can be used in a vacuum filter. And these are our separative funnels which can be used to separate these. Suppose you have oil and water, they are mixed together, they are not miscible. So we will add a specific amount of solvent like hexane or DMF or petroleum ether to separate the oil from the water. So these are called separative funnels, which are made of these openings are made of, these walls are made of Teflon. These are Teflon, okay. They can be mounted with a stand and a stopper to remove the oil from the water or any other like oil, grease or oil from the water. Now calibration is not needed, simple and quick. There is spillage if this is not aligned very well. So you have to rinse immediately with the solvent water and then dry it. And then you have to keep in a hanging rack, not stacking, not in the any other kind of place. So separative funnel. Separative funnels, these are different sizes, different types of separative funnels. These are more tapered and these are straight and these are also tapered. Okay, this is a stopper funnel body, low density solution which will be on the top and high density will go down. So you can use a stopper or a valve to open it. This is another kind which in the beaker you are going to remove the low density and high density liquid from the water. So suppose petrol is at the top, water is here. So open the tap to remove the water from the petrol. Now these are key information about these. No, it does not need any calibration. Efficient phase separation. Separate the two layers, different kind of layers depending on their density. Requires venting because if you want to working with the special kind of like liquid that is going to separate or solvent that is going to separate the two layers. So you will be working in the fume hood. Solvent dry, stock cup removed. Then these are glass bottles. Okay, different kind of glass bottles, sample containers of specific for you want to store the water. So what kind of sample bottles you need. Suppose you are storing the blood, what kind of water you use. Suppose you are storing a purity sample, what kind of bottle you use. Blood or a sample for measuring the E. coli coliform, what kind of bottles you use. Suppose you are storing for iron analysis, so how will you store by adding acid or no. Suppose you are storing the water sample for heavy metal analysis, in that case you have to add certain types of nitric acid. So in this video we'll be sticking just to the theoretical demonstration, and in our next part of the video we will be seeing physically how these equipment, also how these accessories exactly look like. The glass bottle sample containers, it requires a chemical and sample storage. Calibration, no, they are chemical resistance, breakable, they can break. The disadvantage, acid wash if required, if you are going to do the ion analysis or cation analysis, or you are going to do the heavy metal analysis, or you have to also distinguish by labeling it proper with the proper label. These are our different holders, stand clamp. There are many available now in the market. So this you can see by zooming it. What is the D dimension here? 7 inches. This is around 10 centimeter, 30 centimeter. These are, you can change the mouth width by opening the wall, and this is from here to here there's a different dimension. This is a stand dimension here, and these are 17 millimeters. This is 70. This is again the wall, 25 millimeters. This is the distance between this point to this point, okay, and also the opening of the mouth. And this is also a different kind of, and this is also different for wide kind of bottles you can put here, or separative funnels, or a different kind of like you have cylinders or columns. You can even fit the column. So depending on your uses, you can use different kind of stand and clamps depending on their the dimensions, opening or closing one. Now the holder, they don't need the calibration, improve safety, improper tightening, may be class, wipe dry, tool rack, cleaning, separates volumetric flasks from glassware, store calibrated items, label damaged glassware and discardable one. If you have a discardable one, you can just dump it the way you want. Now this is also about if you are having different kind of waste, in which container you are going to put the chemical waste, anionic waste, dye waste, or broken glass, or biological waste. You have to label them properly and store the waste container, so that even a layman who comes to the lab, he knows where is my aqueous waste, where is my acid waste, where is my base. You don't have to mix them together to avoid any kind of chemical reactions. These are even for stacking the chemicals in the laboratory, you have to stack organic separately, inorganic. You don't have to merge them. Even the salt, in salt also there are bases, there are acids, so you have to like differentiate between the storage acid base. Okay, then also acid. Here also it can be toxic or reactive, it could be explosive, it could be corrosive. So depending on their properties of their you get from the material safety data sheet, you have to segregate them. Okay, also understand the nature chemical safety, and okay, then you have to store them properly. Dispensing also, if you have if the is expired, you have to separate them from the unexpired one. And whenever you're opening any chemicals in the laboratory, you have to put a opening date and a closing date. And if you're working with the corrosive chemicals like acid, ammonia, you have to work in the ventilated area or a fume hood to avoid any kind of exposure or any kind of spillage or any kind of fumes that could go into your nose or body. This is all about the different kind of chemicals or not chemicals, accessories that are used in the laboratory.